There are many areas where the British people have had to put up with decline and decay over the last 14 years, but the breakdown of law and order might be the most profound. Victims felt unprotected, criminals went unpunished, and crimes simply went unchecked. Meanwhile, the law-abiding majority looked on in horror, police officers felt frustrated and without the tools to act. So I'm delighted to be supporting this bill that starts to turn the tables on 14 years of neglect. I welcome the government's plans to introduce 13,000 extra neighbourhood police officers and put a named police officer in every community. To introduce respect orders and real punishments for the so-called low-level crime, such as antisocial behaviour and off-road bikes, that have plagued communities thanks to Tory amnesty. To protect retail workers, including scrapping the Tory shoplifters charter that's decriminalised theft under £200. I remember speaking to shop workers in my constituency in Telford during the general election who talked about the yobs walking into the shop, nicking items off the shelves and walking straight out because they knew the police would take no action. To create a duty to report child sexual abuse and increase sentencing for the monsters who organise child grooming. To crack down on knife crime, on selling weapons to under-18s, and give power to seize and destroy bladed articles, and so much more, all within months of this Home Secretary taking office. But I urge the Government to go further to strengthen neighbourhood policing, which is at the heart of its mission to take back our streets. Increasing powers for police officers to tackle antisocial behaviour is among the most important measures in this bill. But we mustn't stop there. There are CSOs, there are local authority enforcement officers who do vital work in supporting the police and being friendly faces in our communities, and they too should be given the powers to deal with these low-level antisocial behaviour and also the yobs on our streets. We can also make our streets safer by introducing stand-alone deportation orders for foreign national offenders who endanger public safety. This government has deported over 3,000 criminals since taking office, but often after several thousands of pounds have been spent in the criminal justice system. I also welcome Clause 105, which requires registered sex offenders to notify the authorities if they change their names. Again, it's about helping the public feel safe and secure. They'll know that someone convicted of sex offences isn't hiding amongst them, and victims will know that they aren't somewhere repeating their crimes, going undetected because of this ridiculous legal loophole. When we were elected, we were promised our constituents that we would help them take back control of their streets. The first priority of any government is to keep its citizens safe, at home, at the border and around the world. And for the last 14 years, it has been a source of national shame that we didn't do that. There's a lot of work to do to restore public trust, but with this bill, we will make vital first steps towards protecting victims, punishing criminals and preventing crime. And let me just finish on this note. The Shadow Home Secretary said that there was an unnecessary or regrettable general election. In my constituency of Telford, they voted for change, and I urge the Government to get on with it.